Baby born with 2 heads, 3 hands and 2 hearts after mom told to expect twins.
Having allergies or asthma may raise risk of heart disease, study finds.
Zika may be one mutation away from a new outbreak.
Shingles patients needed for new treatment trial.
Skydiver miraculously survives smashing into ground at 125 miles per hour after 13,500 feet fall.
One-dose HPV vaccine can offer protection against cervical cancer. WHO.
Extreme modification addict human Satan has ears amputated to mark end of face masks.
Mutations across species reveal clues to aging.
Tiny miracle baby born at 23 weeks weighed less than 1.5 pounds when delivered.
Clashes in Shanghai over COVID lockdown evictions.
Baby born with 2 heads, 3 hands and 2 hearts after mom told to expect twins. A baby shocked doctors and his mom after arriving with 2 heads, 3 hands and 2 hearts. Shaheen Khan was told she would be having twins when she fell pregnant with her first baby in Rutlam, in the Indian state of Madhya Pradesh. The condition known as dicephalic parapagus, where 2 infants are joined by 1 torso, was undetected before the birth. It often results in a stillbirth, but after surviving, doctors said on Tuesday they are not planning surgery. The miracle baby has been admitted to a hospital in the nearby city of Indore to be monitored by medics. It is unclear from reports if the arrival is being treated as conjoined twins or one child. Local reports describe it as a baby, but the condition is considered a rare form of partial twinning.
Having allergies or asthma may raise risk of heart disease, study finds. If you have a history of asthma or allergies, you may be at increased risk of developing high blood pressure and coronary heart disease, new research finds. Adults between the ages of 18 and 57, who have suffered from an allergic disorder, had a higher risk of high blood pressure, according to the research, which will be presented at the American College of Cardiology and Korean Society of Cardiology's Spring Conference in Gyeongju, South Korea. The highest risk for high blood pressure was found among people with asthma, researchers said. High blood pressure and cholesterol, along with a lack of exercise, obesity, diabetes, smoking and a family history of cardiovascular issues, are all key contributors to heart disease, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Zika may be one mutation away from a new outbreak. A new outbreak of Zika virus is quite possible, warn researchers, with a single mutation potentially enough to trigger an explosive spread. The disease caused a global medical emergency in 2016, with thousands of babies born brain damaged after their moms became infected while pregnant. U.S. scientists say the world should be on the lookout for new mutations. Lab work, described in the journal Cell Reports, suggests the virus could easily shift, creating new variants. Recent infection studies suggest those variants may prove effective at transmitting the virus, even in countries which have built up immunity from previous outbreaks of Zika, say the team from the La Jolla Institute for Immunology.
Shingles patients needed for new treatment trial. Patients newly diagnosed with shingles are being sought for a new study into the long-term effects of the infection. Researchers from the University of Bristol want to see if the antidepressant amitriptyline can prevent postherpetic neuralgia, a condition which causes intermittent or continuous nerve pain in an area of skin previously affected by shingles. 1 in 3 will get shingles, an infection that causes a painful rash. They hope to recruit 850 patients. Funded by NIHR Health Technology Assessment, doctors and researchers at the universities of Oxford, Southampton and Warwick are also involved. Shingles happens when an old chickenpox infection is reactivated. With the body's immune system keeping it in check, the virus can remain inactive in the nervous system for decades, but can flare up later in life and emerge as shingles.
Skydiver miraculously survives smashing into ground at 125 miles per hour after 13,500 feet fall. A skydiver smashed into the ground at 125 miles per hour after falling 13,500 feet, and miraculously survived. Jordan Hatmaker began hurtling towards the ground in a terrifying spin after her parachute got tangled around her leg. She had released her reserve parachute, but it catapulted both out in opposite directions. 20 seconds after pressing the release rope, she slammed into the ground, breaking her back, leg, and ankle. She astonishingly remained conscious throughout the whole ordeal and screamed out for help, terrified she was paralyzed. Jordan hit the earth on her left leg and bounced forward to land on her back. She was taken to hospital where she spent 25 days recovering from the horrific fall. It would take her 3 months to walk again, but the near-death experience has not put her off from skydiving again.
One-dose HPV vaccine can offer protection against cervical cancer. WHO. The World Health Organization's Strategic Advisory Group of Experts on Immunization has said a single-dose human papillomavirus vaccine can deliver solid protection against HPV, and that the jab is comparable to 2-dose schedules. According to the experts, this could be a game-changer for the prevention of the disease, especially seeing that more doses of the life-saving jab can reach more girls. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention described HPV as the virus that causes cervical cancer. It explained that HPV is the most common sexually transmitted disease, adding that there were about 43 million HPV infections in 2018, among many young people in their late teens and early 20s.
Extreme modification addict Human Satan has ears amputated to mark end of face masks. A body modification addict dubbed the Human Satan has had his ears amputated to celebrate the end of COVID face mask rules. Heavily tattooed Michel Ferro Prado has undergone more than 60 procedures and has around 85% of his body covered in ink. He celebrated the end of COVID mask-wearing restrictions in his country by getting his ears amputated. So far his modifications include horns implanted in his forehead, the removal of part of his nose, ears, and even his ring finger, and the addition of silver dentures. He has also undergone liposuction and a tummy tuck, during which his belly button was removed. Prado, from the Brazilian city of Praia Grande, is known online as Diabão, Devil, but has been dubbed Human Satan in the media. He lives with his wife Carol Prado, better known as Mulher Demonia, Demon Woman, who is also heavily modified and has had various procedures. They have been together for around 10 years and started to undergo extreme changes to their bodies about 5 years ago.
Mutations across species reveal clues to aging. How long animals live is linked to how quickly their genetic code mutates, a study suggests. Researchers discovered that mammals, from tigers to humans, have roughly the same number of mutations by the time they die of old age. But short-lived animals tend to burn through their allowance more rapidly, the analysis of 16 species indicates. The researchers say it helps explain why we age and sheds light on one of cancer's most perplexing mysteries. Mutations are changes that creep into the instruction manual for building and running our bodies, our DNA. Those mutations have long been known to be at the root of cancer, but whether they were important for aging has been debated for decades. Researchers at Shanghai say they have produced the first experimental evidence suggesting they are. The study, published in the journal Nature, showed mice rattle through nearly 800 mutations a year during their short lives, which last just under 4 years. And the longer animals live, the fewer mutations they pick up each year. Dogs have around 249 annual mutations, a lion 160 and a giraffe 99. Humans averaged 47. One of the researchers, Dr. Alex Kagan, said the pattern was striking, and it was really surprising and exciting that all the animals in the study converged on about 3,200 mutations across their lifetime.
Tiny miracle baby born at 23 weeks weighed less than 1.5 pounds when delivered. A miracle baby weighed less than 1.5 pounds when he was born prematurely at 23 weeks. Hannah Collett and husband Andrew feared the worst when Rafi was delivered early, although doctors gave him a good chance of survival. However, the tiny tot was struck down with sepsis shortly after his birth, Coventry Live reports. But Rafi fought off the infection and he is now due to leave hospital in the next week, with his family and friends desperate to meet him.
Clashes in Shanghai over COVID lockdown evictions. Video has emerged of clashes between police and people being forced out of their homes in Shanghai, as the city enters a third week of COVID lockdown. Some residential compounds are being turned into quarantine centers. Millions are confined to their homes as Shanghai battles a fresh outbreak of the virus. Anyone who tests positive is placed in quarantine. But with more than 20,000 new cases a day, authorities are struggling to find enough space. The city in recent weeks has converted exhibition halls and schools into quarantine centers and set up makeshift hospitals. For your daily global health news, visit www.staywellworld.org. Please do well to subscribe, like, share and comment. If you already subscribed, turn on the notification icon so you don't miss any update. Thank you for watching.